This journal entry is for Module 10, and the question that I chose to answer is, in what ways are courts, judges, and justices shielded from politics and political pressure? In what ways are they vulnerable to political pressure? My response is that courts, judges, and justices are vulnerable to political pressure, but are also shielded from these pressures by safeguards in Article 3 of the Constitution. Because the Constitution only established the Supreme Court, the lower federal courts were created by statute. This means that if they do not adhere to certain political pressures, they could be reorganized or overthrown by Congress. Also, although Supreme Court justices and federal judges go through a nomination process as opposed to an election process, they still experience political pressure. They experience this pressure because they need support from senators in their own state in order to have a chance at a formal nomination from the president. Senators can essentially veto a potential nominee or reward those judges or justices who share their ideologies. In addition to that, appointment is more likely if your views and partisanship are similar to that of the president's. Once a justice or judge has approval from their home state, senators, and from the president, they still must be considered by the Senate Judiciary Committee and confirmed by a majority vote in the full Senate. Although judges, justices, and courts do experience political pressure, they are also shielded from it. Most of this protection comes from Article 3 of the Constitution. Article 3 states that these judges and justices are appointed for a life term and cannot experience a reduction of salary. This means that once they are in their position, they are not subject to the political pressures that stem from re-elections. They can only be removed from their position by impeachment or death and can make decisions free from political pressure. Also, although the Supreme Court is the only court established and protected by the Constitution, the other federal courts, such as the federal trial courts, hear the majority of cases that have federal jurisdiction and are essential.